Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight in our news.
Over 100 illegal migrants are brought before the magistrate's court.
The president of the Bahamas Air Traffic Controllers Union defends his members.
Exactly how are you bringing in 2019? Well, we've got a few recommendations.
Our news is brought to you by Alive.
Welcome to Our News and thanks for joining us. I'm Jared Higgs. Topping news tonight. One day after the Royal Bahamas Defence Force apprehended 124 Haitian migrants in waters 8 miles south of New Providence, 116 Haitian migrants were arraigned in the magistrate's court. Gillian Gray was in court today and has the details.
116 Haitian migrants had their day in court today following a Defense Force seizure early Sunday morning. According to reports, Immigration and Defense Force officers acting on intelligence came across the 40-foot wooden sloop approximately 8 miles off South Beach around 3 a.m. on Sunday. There were 116 adults and 8 minors aboard the vessel. Those adults were brought before Magistrate Cara Turnquest today on the charge of illegal landing. They all pled guilty to the charge. The prosecutor told the Crown that upon further inspection, 12 of the migrants were found to be repeat offenders. Magistrate Turnquest imposed a fine of $300 or 6 months in prison for those 12 persons. The remaining migrants were released to the Department of Immigration for further processing. Reporting for Our News, I'm Gillian Gray.
A 54-year-old Canadian man was arraigned in the magistrate's court today on drug-related charges. Reginald Merritt of Montreal was charged with 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs with intent to supply, 1 count of importation of dangerous drugs, 1 count of conspiracy to possess dangerous drugs with intent to supply, and 1 count of conspiracy to import dangerous drugs. It is alleged that sometime between December 19th and December 27th, Merritt conspired with others to import and possess the drugs. According to police reports, the Canadian was arrested at Lynden Pinley International Airport shortly after 3 p.m. on December 27th after arriving on a flight from London. Drug Enforcement Unit officers acting on information allegedly found packages of suspected heroin in Merritt's suitcase. The drugs weighed 9 pounds and had an estimated street value of $90,000. Merritt pleaded not guilty to all charges and will return to court on February 5th, 2019. Former Bahamas Power and Light Chair Donald Osborne is seeking an apology from Public Works Minister Desmond Bannister and compensation for her wrongful dismissal from the BPL board. The details were revealed in a lengthy letter sent by Osborne's attorney to Bannister back in October and follow a contentious back and forth between Bannister and 3 former BPL board members. Former BPL chairwoman Darnell Osborne demanded $300,000 annual salary and had BPL pay her personal bills, including for makeup, are false, careless, misleading, inaccurate, malicious, and defamatory, according to attorney for Osborne Alfred Sayers QC. Pointing to a 2003 case where Lady Sharon Wilson received an $80,000 award following a defamation claim, Osborne's attorney insisted that based on the facts of this matter, Osborne would be entitled to receive far more than the $80,000 awarded to Lady Sharon Wilson. The letter from Osborne's lawyer to Bannister begins by accusing Bannister of dismissing Osborne from the board of BPL around August 15, 2018, without reasonable cause and in contravention of the Electricity Act 2015 and the rules of natural justice. It also accuses Bannister of publishing to the general public several false and defamatory comments about Osborne that have injured her personal and professional reputation and caused her to suffer considerable distress and embarrassment. In a section of Osborne's letter titled Background of Facts, the former chairwoman's attorney says hostility between Minister Bannister and Osborne began in May 2018 and involved the independence that she demonstrated on several issues before the board. Those issues included a proposal to vary the Shell North America power purchase agreement by removing the building of the power plant from the PPA and having BPL select either BWSC or Wärtsilä to build the plant. In addition, Osborne reportedly stood her ground on the issue of BPL CEO Whitney Hastie's exclusive authority to employ officers and employees of BPL without the board's supervision. The third issue was the appointment of Hugh Patrick Rawlins as executive director without board consultation or the finalization of a job description in relation to the position of executive chairperson. Rawlins is also named in the letter as having communicated to Osborne a ministerial directive from Bannister to sign the Shell MOU by end of day July 26, 2018. Osborne claims that she would only sign the MOU if the BPL board obtained a legal opinion from outside counsel, a position she reiterated in a reply sent on July 29, 2018. The letter also claims that Bannister retaliated against Osborne for her independence, mainly by unilaterally varying the terms of her 5-year fixed-term appointment to a 1-year appointment. The letter also details the final 2 weeks of Osborne's tenure as the board's chairperson, stating that on August 3rd, Bannister summoned her to his office and criticized her leadership style. 2 days later, Osborne had a meeting with Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis, where she was advised to stay put. However, on August 14th, the letter states that Bannister summoned the board to his office and announced the resignations of Whitney Hasty, Hugh Patrick Rawlins, and Ferran Bethel from the board. Bannister also announced that Prime Minister Minnis had asked for the resignations of Osborne and fellow directors Nicola Thompson and Nick Dean. The trio say they were never given any orders in writing, with Osborne claiming that the Prime Minister telephoned her on August 18th apologizing for the matters that had transpired with the BPL board and advising her that she would be appointed as Director of Inland Revenue. Minnis also promised reporters a probe into the BPL board fiasco. However, it is unclear if an investigation was ever launched. Bahamas Air Traffic Controllers Union President Hinsey McKenzie is vigorously defending air traffic controllers on the heels of significant flight delays at Lynden Pilling International Airport. McKenzie dismissed the suggestion that industrial action may have caused travel chaos, but predicted this problem will persist. Jasmine Brown reports.
McKenzie says the truth of the matter is air traffic controllers have been working around the clock on skeleton shifts to ensure the recurring gridlock comes to an end.
Most shifts are manned by about 8 radar controllers, which will need more than 8. 8 of the persons will be on the floor continuously for the whole shift without breaks.
So just how bad is the shortage of controllers? Hinsey says incredibly bad.
I will say we were 50% understaffed. Right now we have a total of about 80 controllers in total. In total in the whole country we have about 120 or so. Grandmama, Abaco, and Exomen, those 3 included, 120. But we're totally understaffed. Jamaica alone have about 200 controllers just in Jamaica, who only have a couple airports. We have about 28 airports. We're dealing with 4 times as much what Jamaica does deal with, and they have 200, we only have less than 100 in Nassau. We're not even paid up to the industry standard. That's another issue we have, but we're not taking out the issue on the government for that. We're just trying to work through it.
His comments come as LPIA is reporting record-breaking numbers, with Tourism Minister Dionisio de Aguilar revealing that there are in excess of 1,200 aircraft movements and between 6,000 to 7,000 passengers a day. Passengers have reported huge delays that have left them stranded for hours as they try to enter or leave the country. McKenzie was quick to shoot down speculation of a national strike.
If I was in the industrial action, I would have announced that weeks ago. We are not in industrial action.
Officials have said the record number of flights coming into LPIA hindered the movement of thousands of passengers last week. But McKenzie says it's more than just an increase in flights that is causing issues at LPIA. He blamed the lack of airport capacity, inefficiency, and inadequate investment for ongoing challenges. The union boss says it's an issue that has become far too common in recent weeks. He predicted that the chaos will continue well into the spring.
New Year's could be the busiest day. New Year's always has been, always will be, because everybody trying to get out or in. We also, this traffic, I don't see it dying now anytime in the till Easter. We normally go all the way till Easter.
McKenzie said the air traffic controllers will continue to provide their exemplary service through the upcoming record-breaking winter season, despite the inefficiencies. Reporting for our news, I'm Jasmine Brown.
It's all systems go for the 2019 New Year's Day Junkanoo Parade. Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence Chairman Silbert Ferguson says they're expecting favorable weather conditions and ticket sales have improved.
They've picked up. Today has really been a good day so far. I see that we have just hit the 60% house, and so we continue to say thank you to the public for coming out and supporting us.
The parade kicks off at 2 a.m. and Ferguson foresees the parade ending by 10 or 11 a.m. Now, as for the many hiccups experienced during the Boxing Day parade, including a trailer that blocked the Valley Boys entry, Ferguson said that won't happen this time around.
The little issues we had Boxing Day, basically we were prepared for the entire parade, but outside of the arena, we have no control. And so we have made all the corrections with regards to the containers being parked on the western side. They will only be allowed to be parked until midnight, okay, in the New Year's Day parade, and they will then have to be moved over to the east side of Elizabeth Avenue. And so we'll have some clearance there.
Still to come on our news, looking for ways to ring in the new year? We've got a few ideas after this.